Morning. Welcome to harvest day 3. So this is Sunday, September 21st. So I don't know that we're going to do a full day on a Sunday, but we're going to run a few loads. That's kind of the plan. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I've got a field I'd like to finish up. It kind of looks a little rough as far as standability, and we've actually got some rain in the forecast and possibly some winds. So with that knowledge, I'd like to get this 50-acre field done that we're going to today. And then, I don't know, we'll see how the day shakes out. Like I say, it's Sunday. It's the first Sunday at harvest. Probably not going to get too carried away today. So trucks are all dumped from last night. Cart's dumped. Combine's running, so getting some acres knocked out. But it sounds like his yield monitor. Yesterday our yield monitor was giving us some fits, and it sounds like today's no different. I don't know what's going on there. If we get this rain they're calling for this evening, might be something we need to address, try to get that squared away, because like I mentioned yesterday, we use our yield data for fertilizer recs, seeding recs, all that kind of stuff. So kind of cross compare the yield data with our soil tests and kind of important stuff we need. So there's the combine. Been pretty slow going. I've been waiting here for a good while. Opening up a field's never quick. This one is only like 45 acres, but it's very long. It's probably a mile long. It's super skinny though. It's not real wide, but it just takes them a while to get around here. I'm sure the grain cart is loaded or pretty darn close to loaded. So a few people have asked about that thing. There's a water tank mounted to the side of that cart. Now I believe for legality purposes it's just a water tank, but I know if that combine were to have a thermal event, it'd be pretty darn handy to have that water tank. Now one thing we've got going on, our sample, a lot of cob in it, and trying to clean that up. I don't know what's going on. We never really had an issue in corn last year with getting it cleaned up. Now we weren't taking near as much throughput last year, but like look in that window, that's not what I would call a good sample. But usually ideals are pretty good for cleaning. At least that's the reputation they've had. So I don't know what we need to change. I don't know if we need to do something different with the concave. We're running Copperhead concaves. We've been pretty happy with those. It's completely open. There's no plates in the concaves. I don't know. Is it working all right now? Your yield monitor working okay? So one other thing this year, this is our first year with a twin auger cart. In years past, we've been running a 1319 Umberfirth grain cart. This is a 1620. It means it's a twin auger cart, so it's a little bit lower to the ground and a little bit longer than the 1319. I like the 1319, but this one seems just fine as well. We'd always ran a single auger cart like that 1319 for simplicity, but I mean, this thing seems to work pretty well, and the 1600 bushel capacity is pretty cool. Very easy to load. Yes, you cannot fit 1600 bushel in a truck, but it's just a lot easier to like the 1300 bushel cart, you really had to cram it in there. This you don't. And the way our grain bin, our bin on the combine, 2 dumps on the go ends up being more than a 1300 bushel cart can take in good corn. Not so much with this one. The bin on the Fendt is 485 bushel. When you're dumping on the go, you're basically going to end up putting on probably 600 bushel or better. So the added capacity is pretty nice as far as mating up with that combine pretty well.
Yeah, here's where somebody run through the field here a long time ago, along the road here. I got the experience gauge, so we're going to do a couple loads here today. Probably be interested to open this field up, see how wet it is. It is a different variety. And for some reason, monitor's not counting. I don't know why, but some reason I got to change fields here. Right field. That's right. See what that does. Everything working there. Everything's there, okay. So it should work. We'll find out. Right.
You're on there now, but you're not moving.
Yeah, I reloaded it. Well, still not counting. Dang, come on. Well, we got everything working here for the monitor. Now we're along the railroad. This first round you gotta watch. I want to get a snout. Something from the railroad. They throw their junk over here, it seems like. Got that brush, just let it lay in the field. Pretty good piece of corn through here, some of it. Some of it's not going to be good. Seems like they just keep crowding over here, so we cleaned it off one time. Most of it. We'll have to clean it again, I guess.
So I think this corn is dry as well. We're going to run over here and just make sure our consigner is going to our dry bin and our wet bin. See how it looks. I think it is. Just want to double check. Yep, we're still good there. Then we'll get a moisture sample here. This is 117-day corn, and it's not yielding the greatest, and it's dry. That field hasn't really looked all that good all year, like something was off with it, so we might have to address that. Little baby kernels. Yep, looks like little popcorn kernels. There you go, it's dry. We're getting there. So I'm gonna hop in the cart and run it for a little bit. I know one thing, this field is not doing nearly as well as the last two. It is almost 100 bushel per acre difference than directly across the street. Now, I do remember planting this field and it rained like twice while I planted. I don't think planting in a little bit wet conditions made that big of a difference because it rained all spring. Like it'd been one thing if I did that and then it had trouble coming out of the ground and the corn came out of the ground fine. I don't know what the difference is. I know we're definitely going to have to look at some yield data and see what we can find because this is not good. We've got that corn variety a lot of other places, so we'll know more if it's a variety thing. But this field's kind of looked haggard all year. I mean, that's why we're getting it off here. You can see it's already, like the tops are blown out of this corn. You would think that this was like November at the shape of these stalks comparatively. Now, one thing I wonder, with this being 117-day corn, when we turn dry, maybe this corn just cannibalized itself more so than some of the earlier day corns because the earlier day corns were closer to complete. I don't know. Like I said, when we were dumping it, the kernels are very, very tiny. Very small kernels, more so than anything else we've ran, so I don't know. But it's only running 130 right now. And the field across the road made close to 230 yesterday. Like it might actually try to rain. That'd be fantastic. No one really likes getting rained out of harvest, but we haven't had hardly any rain in 2 months, less than an inch in the last 2 months. So Conditions are extremely dry, and everyone would be happy with a little bit of rain. The wind is picking up, and it sure looks like we're about to get rained on. Came and load that truck. We're gonna tarp it, just make sure. I don't know, we might have to wait and see. Looks like rain over there.
What's up here? Then quit. I'll get her to you.
A lot of lightning over there. He just came on radio and said we're gonna hang it up after we dump here. It's definitely getting close. Kind of at the point now where we don't want to get rained. This field's almost a mile long. We don't want to get rained out with 12 rows left because those rows will blow down very easily. If we quit now, there's still probably 5 or 6 passes left. Hopefully that'll be enough to not blow over super easy. Yeah, the storm is here. There's about 48 rows left. Hopefully we don't get to pick those up off the ground. Yeah, we got out of there just in time. Rain's hitting the windshield. Well, sure enough, we get to the barn and start putting stuff up. Not really raining yet. Probably should have just stayed up there. Never fails. Should have just kept on keeping on. Hasn't rained yet. Sprinkled and quit. Well, folks, that's going to be it for today's video. I do think we're going to get rain eventually. Sprinkling still. Thanks for watching. If you missed the first 2 harvest videos, be sure to go back and watch those. Get caught up, and any day that we're harvesting, there'll be a video recorded, and it'll be about a day behind, so don't want to get behind. Thanks for watching. Drop us a comment, let us know how your harvest is going, and we will see you in the next one, I hope.